We'll begin by adding a reference image of the front view with the screen open. So let's go to front view, perspective off. Let's just rotate the lid so that it's 90 degrees. So we need to select that bit, copy it, go to rotate, and then just paste that in there. Let's rename that front open. Let's reduce the opacity of that by a little bit. Zoom into the top left-hand corner. Let's just move screen so that it's the second collection down, so we can just toggle 1, 2, 1, 2. Edit mode. Let's grab this edge loop and this edge loop. Then we'll separate it. Let's find it in the screen collection, which is there. Let's rename that to seal. And if we just isolate seal on the front reference image, it looks like the seal is a constant offset of the edge there at the top and the sides. But on the bottom, it looks like it gets wider, and we can just confirm that by looking in our reference images. Okay, it looks like the seal does get a little bit wider at the bottom. So that's the bottom of the seal. Looks like it's continuing down a little bit further, and this is the top of the seal. So let's reduce this. Let's begin by selecting that. So as before, we can only use the mirror modifier on one side. So let's select all. Let's go to offset. So we're trying to align it with that line there. So let's try 0.00075. So that's good up there. So we're going to apply the modifier across Y. So deselect that one, come out of edit mode, then apply, then add another mirror modifier, this time only in X, turn clipping on, move it above the subdivision modifier, zoom in. Let's delete the outer edge loop. Then let's grab these bottom vertices, move them up in Z to round that off to 0.7. And let's select them all again, and then offset again. And then let's go for 0.001, see how that looks. Let's have a look in side view. Select all, we're going to extrude in Y by an amount. Let's go 0.5. Then we're going to add some faces from that edge to that edge. Go all the way down the side. Select all, Alt N, and recalculate outside. Let's zoom in again. Select all, let's delete the crease. And I think that looks a little bit too rounded. So what we'll do is select that edge loop and that edge loop, add a bevel weight to it. Then let's reduce this down to 0.3. Let's have a look in side view again. That looks good. And before we continue, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just round off some of these figures. So if we select the lid and the seal, make sure that the pivot point is set to 3D cursor, rotate 90 degrees, turn off our reference collection. Let's turn on the keys and the base collection. I'm going to start with the bottom, make sure auto merge is turned off. I'm going to select all of those and just round this off to 1. I'll start with 7, and I'm happy that that's close enough to the reference image. Next, I'm going to select these vertices there, and I'm going to round this off to 12.75. Then I'm going to grab these ones there all the way across and change those to 11.75. Select the rubber seal and grab those ones there and snap those down in Z to the top of the base. Then I'm going to select inverse, and then those ones will be 13.4. Let's have a look in front view. Then I'm going to select the lid, select those bottom vertices there. I'm going to snap those to the top of the seal. Then I'm going to invert selection. I'm going to round that off to 17.25. Okay, let's go back into side view. Let's select the seal and the lid. Make sure pivot point is still set to 3D cursor. Rotate -90. Let's go to front view, X-ray mode. Let's isolate the lid and the front open reference image. I'm just going to check the reference images because the screen isn't symmetrical from top to bottom. So we're just going to apply the Y mirror modifier. So let's select the lid, minimize these. Let's turn off X. Let's apply this. Let's add another mirror modifier. Put it above the subdivision modifier. Make sure clipping is turned on. Let's turn off subdivision modifier for now. And I think we're just going to have to offset these vertices to move this square over here. So let me show you what I mean. Let's select all of these. Let's hide unselected. Let's select all, zoom into here, inset, and let's line it up with the edge of the screen, which is that line there. Let's zoom in a bit further. Let's round this off to 5.5. Let's have a quick look at the top. Select those vertices, separate those, and there is our screen there. If we turn on our subdivision modifier again, and if we zoom in here, you'll notice that this is going to a point. Now, there's two ways of fixing that. We can either add an edge in here and it fixes it. If we undo that, If we were to add a thickness or a return surface, so if we just select that as I have done there and extrude in Y and just isolate that, it's fixed it. So either of those two works, but I think I will go for the first option. So add an edge there and add one there. Next, let's move on to the feet. Let's turn on left reference image and we'll need front reference image. If I remember correctly, those feet were just circles. Yes, they are. And they look like they're just chamfers with a little bit of a feature in there. Let's minimize that again. Let's select our base collection. Let's go in top view, cursor to world origin. Let's create a circle. Let's make it 8 vertices. Go to edit mode, scale, object mode, subdivision modifier 4, edit mode, select all, scale, side view. Let's move it over and line it up. On edit mode again, select all, and then let's snap it to the bottom of the base. Then let's extrude in Z, and let's change Z to 0 so it's touching the floor. Then select invert, make sure pivot point is set to boundary center, and then let's scale outwards until the profile is the same angle as that. Looks like it's got a little detail about halfway down, so let's select all, let's add a loop cut there, then let's add another loop cut there, slide it up a little bit like that, select that edge loop, then rip it, scale it down a little bit. Oh, that's not the right one, so we can hide that one, select that loop cut, scale that down, then let's select this edge loop, let's add a bevel weight to that. Then let's add a bevel modifier to that. Let's change that to 0.2. Change this to weight. Change this to 2. Let's have a look in side view again. Let's move the bevel weight above the subdivision modifier. And then let's change the segments to 3. Let's change that to 0.1. Edit mode. Let's unhide everything. And then let's select this edge loop and this edge loop. Right click, go to loop tools and then bridge. And then let's select this edge loop. Add a bevel weight to that, select that one, add a bevel weight to that, and then shade smooth. Let's reduce this down to 0.05. Then let's quickly just isolate that, select that bottom edge loop, and then let's add a grid fill to that. Let's deselect these edges and then add a bevel weight to that bottom. Now let's add a mirror modifier to that. Minimize this. Mirror in Y. Let's look in front view. Then let's slide these over to their position. Let's round this off to 129. X-ray mode. Zoom in 128.75. Look in side view again. Now let's move the origin point to 3D cursor. And if we select X on the mirror modifier, we'll be using one geometry and mirroring it over to the other 3 sides. Let's turn off these reference images for a sec and turn on the front open. Let's see if we can see that chamfer cut out. So what we're going to do here is just going to build a block and use a Boolean modifier to cut it out. Let's create a cube, edit mode, scale it down. Let's move it over here, rotate it 45 degrees. Let's move it up somewhere like this. Edit mode, let's delete these 3 faces here. Let's add a bevel modifier to this. Reduce this down to 2, change that to 3. Make sure scale is at 1. Let's rename this chamfer cutout Boolean. Then let's move that into our helpers collection. Now let's select the base and add a Boolean modifier to it. And then in the object, change that to chamfer cutout Boolean. Turn wireframe off. Let's go into the helpers collection, turn it on, select that. Let's shade smooth. Let's turn off the helpers collection again. And we'll notice that we've got some shading artifacts, which we can fix by adding a smooth by angle modifier. And it fixes it a little bit, but the shading still doesn't look very nice. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into that cutout Boolean. Let's just turn off this cube for a sec. So to improve that shading there, just increase the bevel amount. You just needed more geometry in there to define that chamfer cutout. And actually, I think that that cutout goes off at a bit of an angle as well. So these sidewalls have got to come out at an angle. So if we select these vertices, slide them down, make sure pivot point is set to boundary box. If we look at it from perhaps top view and we go scale X, we can pull those corners out. Top view, turn on the top open reference image. So that's what we need to align it to, that point there. This point here should be over here. So let's just grab the Boolean cutout again, edit mode, select all, scale X until those align. Turn off that helpers collection and let's move on to the ports. Turn on the left reference image, turn off the keys collection, minimize that. Increase the opacity of the left reference image. Select the
base collection.
Cursor to world origin. Let's create a circle. Rotate in Y, edit mode, scale, and let's align it with this port. Add a subdivision modifier to that. So we got a bit of a noticeable peak just there. So if we just hide that quickly, I would imagine that these would be a perfect circle there and obviously there. So what we're going to do, let's bring that back in. Let's build another circle, which we'll use as a reference. So rotate in Y, subdivision modifier 3 or 4, scale it down, move it up there, scale it, scale. So we're going to try and get close to that circle. Let's recycle that circle and move it here. 3.5mm headphone jack. Edit mode, add an edge between those two and one between these. Then let's select all. Select all, go to edit mode and then extrude them in X. Select all, Alt N, recalculate outside. Let's just isolate those and what we're going to do is just going to make them solid. So if we select that edge loop, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Add a mean crease to all of those and then F to fill them in. Let's bring everything else back in. Then let's select the
base.
Let's add another Boolean modifier to the
base.
Let's select those solid objects now. And let's hide them. And there's our ports. Just bring those solid objects back in. Let's rename those ports left Boolean, and it's going to be the same thing on the other side. Let's move those into the helpers collection. Then if we go to the
base,
just rename this Boolean to ports left, then we can duplicate this modifier, rename that to right, and then change this to ports right Boolean. And let's turn off wireframe. Let's turn off reference collection. Let's minimize all of these. And that's it. The hard work is done. In the next video, we'll build some materials and add some lighting to make it look realistic. Then we can start working on a more detailed version.